Hey everybody, this is my review and rant on the various children's television channels, Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, and Nickelodeon. I'm going to start off with Disney Channel first. I'm also going to do Discovery Kids, a brief channel I had, a brief channel I had when I briefly switched cable packages from Comcast from DirecTV to YouTube TV. I've since switched back to DirecTV AT&T, so I don't have Discovery Kids channel anymore. But I remember all the programming from that channel, so I will be reviewing and talking about that. This right here. So, like I said, I'm gonna start off with Disney Channel. Disney Channel, because Disney Channel already is the best. Each one will be both review and rant, and will mostly be rant. I will I will I will intro with whatever with intro if we can, but each one will end with what I'm made of, because I have problems with each channel. Disney, like I said, Disney Channel is the best. With you have the main channel, which is good. Then you have Disney XD, which has even more animated program. Then you have the the new Disney Plus streaming app, which has even more shows. Which has the retro shows, the current shows, and some brand new ones not on Disney XD or Disney Channel. So with that being said, let's get started right now. Let's show these channels what I'm made of. Hey everyone, it's time for the second and final part of my Disney Channel off-camera webcam portion of my Disney Channel salute, praise, review, and rant. Rant. Disney Channel since 2018. Since 2018 has been the best children's and family television television channel, alongside Discovery Kids, which I briefly had when I briefly switched to YouTube cable package, but I've since been switched back to DirecTV, AT&T. So yeah, Disney Channel. I like I've said in plenty of previous videos about the Disney Channel, or plenty of reviews of their past and current shows. I stopped watching Disney Channel in 2016 when Bunk'D premiered. The channel was a complete shell of what it used to be, and was worse than ever. The early to mid 2000s was the worst Disney Channel, was the worst Disney era ever. I stopped watching. In 2016 and later 17, I saw two good shows. The first show was Andy Mack. This was a great show, but it was barely on. And one good show was not enough. One good show and several good cartoons, which are also never on. The Marvel cartoons and Gravity Falls. Actually, Gravity Falls was on a lot, but the Marvel cartoons, they weren't on as much. It wasn't enough. You can't have one or more good shows in a series of trash on your network, which is what Disney had since 2011. Then 2017, one of the more recent shows I watched before I stopped watching Disney Channel was the new show Raven's Home. Annalise Vanderpool, who portrays Chelsea Daniels in That's So Raven and now Raven's Home, and Raven Simone, who of course portrays title character Raven Baxter from That's So Raven. They return with a brand new cast for Raven's Home. Raven's Home, and the premiere was nothing short of awesome. And the show is awesome. It was like old school retro Disney Channel, and the show is still good. Today. Hopefully they get renewed for season 5, because it was these two shows, Raven's Home and Andy Mack. These two shows saved Disney Channel. These two shows saved and restored Disney Channels to its former glory. This era, the late 2010s and early 2020s and late 90s and early 2000s, are my all-time favorite eras of Disney Channel, followed by the mid to late 2000s. But the first two first. Sorry about that, I yawned. With the premiere of these two shows, Raven's Home and Andy Mack, we got stronger writing and more mature writing and concepts, and more progressive concepts in our sitcoms versus the sitcoms from the early to mid 2000s, which were terrible, atrocious, try hard, pandering, cheesy based sitcoms with terrible, bland, reused plots that are reused from better shows and are terrible, lame, and stale. And this shows pathetic excuse for comedy, horrible racial stereotypes, etc. And everything, pretty much everything bad about modern sitcoms was the sitcoms from the early to mid 2000s, starting with Andy Mack and Raven's Home. We got much more serious writing. But like I said, in 2020, when I briefly didn't have internet access, I still had cable access, so I decided to watch Disney Channel. I figured I remember reading about Bunk'D one of the shows that made me stop watching Disney Channel. Bunk, I figured it would be ending in 2018, and 2 years later, 2020, I figured it would be over. Much to my disappointment and later excitement, it wasn't over. There was a whole brand new season, a season 4 of Bunk. Luckily, season 4 of Bunk was actually good. They managed to turn that show around. But before I get to that, let's continue with the first 2 shows I saw. The first 2 new shows I saw was Sitting to the Max. I was impressed when I saw Sitting to the Max. The first 3 episodes I saw were What's My Grade Again, Slurping with the Enemy, and last but not least, My Best Friend's Ending, which was the premiere date of that episode. That was like June 19th, something like that. June 19th. These were the first 3 episodes I saw. And I was surprised that even though the show was set now, it was old school, retro Disney Channel in a new modern day progressive way. A Disney show with great acting, strong writing, good plots, relatable characters, and the weirdest and most coolest concept ever. In the president, it features Sydney, Olive, Sophia, and Emmy, her friends, and Adult Max and Grandma Judy. Then it would flash forward, the numbers 1992 would appear on the screen, and it would flash back to the 90s with young Max, Jackson Gallagher, Leo, Christian J. Simon, and young Caroline Ray, young Judy, and ever since those 3 episodes, I've been hooked. Ever since then, I've been a super fan of Sitting to the Max. When Sitting to the Max went off, the next show to come on was Cooper and Candy as the World. Just like with Sitting to the Max, the show was obviously set in the late 2010s, early 2020s because of the technology that was displayed in the show. But the show felt like a sitcom from the late 90s, early 2000s. The show was like a cross. The show was like a cross between Good Luck Charlie, Full and Fuller House, the 2000s Disney Channel sitcoms, and Even Stevens. And just like was Sitting to the Max, this took a ridiculous concept and made it work with strong writing, memorable characters, funny characters, and everything that makes it great, an awesome rocking theme song, and everything that makes a sitcom great. While Sitting to the Max had a weird and awesome concept, this took a lame concept, and that's internet like iCarly and Bizarre. I think children's shows centered around the internet are absolutely atrocious, because number one, not everyone hangs out on the internet. But this show managed to utilize the web show, but successfully incorporate it into the plot and into their daily lives. And once again, just like with Sitting to the Max, once again, another good show with strong writing, great jokes, great acting, and everything. Awesome rocking theme song. The theme song is probably my favorite part of the show. And just more progressive and an awesome show. Sucks that the show currently is silently canceled. I hope this show returns to Disney Channel in some format in the future. The third show I watched was Gabby Duran and the Incendables. This show was unique in that this show was not only old school and retro, but this show did not use a laugh track. It was vastly similar to the Disney Channel sitcom Stuck in the Middle, which I've seen bits and pieces of. Reminds me of the PG Disney X-Files, the what was another show? X-Files, another science fiction based comedy series, Phil of the Future. Phil of the Future, and if I didn't say it already, once again, Even Stevens and various Canadian live action and animated series is what Gabby Brandon and Incendables remind me of. There's actually a comedy drama, because there's as much drama as there is comedy. Because it features Kylie Control, who portrays title character Gabby Duran, and her friends babysitting aliens and going on all sorts of adventures. So yeah, I saw the episode Who is Joey Panther, and have been hooked ever since. And the season 2 premiere was lit. So yeah, Gabby Duran and the Incendables, and of course the fourth show, which was already familiar with, was Raven's Home. I was surprised to see how far the kids in just a short time, the kid actors from Raven's Home, Isaac Brown, Navia Robinson, who both portray Booker and Nia Baxter, Jason Maybaum, who portrays Levi, and Sky Katz, who portrays Tess, in just a short time. How much these kids have grown, how far the show has become. Then the next show, Bunk. Let me tell you about this show. When I saw that Bunk was not only not canceled and not ended, but there was a whole other season. There was a season 4. There was a season 4 of a brand new cast. I was disappointed until I actually sat down and watched the episode. I was forced to watch the episode because one thing I don't like, I'm going to rant on this later, Disney Channel keeps playing this and Jesse over and over again. They even play this over the premieres of your currently premiering shows, your other 3 to 4 shows. That's Sitting to the Max, Cooper and Candy Ask the World, Gavin and the Cinemas, and another show I'm about to talk about. Just roll with it. They play these shows over and over and over again. They play these shows over and over again. And they play Bump and Jesse over and over again. I get it. Like I said, I'll run on that in a minute. But then I sit down and watch an episode, and when it comes to Bump, they were able to take the worst show. If you take Bump, the worst show, first off, get rid of the old cast and bring in a new cast members, and then hire new writers, hire the writers of Andy Mack, and last but not least, cross it over with a good show, Raven's Home, and all 3 of those things. You can take a terrible show and make it into an awesome show. They completely turned this show around. Seasons 1 through 3 of this show were absolutely terrible. Nothing but bad jokes, repetitive jokes, characters insulting each other, and what else? Terrible, atrocious racial stereotypes. Everyone was just like in Jesse, everyone was a racial stereotype except for the character Lou Sander, and the character of Hazel. In the season 4, they got rid of the racial stereotypes and have exaggerated cartoonish stereotypes. Having exaggerated cartoonish stereotypes is much better than racial stereotypes. And I think the season 4 actors who a lot of people are mixed towards. Some people like the new cast, like myself. A lot of people don't. This new cast is way better than the old ones. Everyone says that Bunk is now a crank show. Bunk and Jesse were always crank shows, and just because the late Cameron Boyce died, that doesn't change my opinion. I'm sick of all of these comments. You people must be kids. Coming here praising these shows, saying they were good. These shows were terrible, and Jesse was even worse. Jesse was one of the worst shows ever, and one of the shows, in my opinion, that ruined and killed Disney channel. And to this day, I'm still angry that Jesse is still on the channel. I understand Cameron Boyce died, but show it late at night or early in the morning or afternoon Afternoon. They dedicate prime time airing to this show. Just now on television, I'm watching the Disney XD Amphibia on the Disney Channel. For the rest of the night is nothing but Jesse. Is nothing but Jesse reruns and reruns of other Disney Channel shows. Past Disney Channel shows like Liv and Maddie, and Austin Alley. So, yeah, the newer season of Bunk'D is so much better, and season 5 is currently even better than season 4. And that Raven about Bunk'D, along with most of the season 5 episodes, that crossover has been the best episode of Raven's Home and the best episode of Bunk'D. So, yeah, what else about Bunk'D? What else about Bunk'D? And yeah, Friday nights now. I missed last year, 2020. The premiere schedule last year was much better last year than it was this year. But for 2020, I missed during the summer, during the summer, prime time Friday nights and weekday afternoons. It was premieres and reruns of Cooper and Candy, Astroworld, Sitting to the Max, and quote unquote Sitting to the Max. Now in 2020, 2021, there are premieres of Bunk'D. There are and were premieres of Bunk'D. There were premieres of their more recent show, Just Roll With It. And now there are premieres and Raven's Home. Now that Raven's Home is finished for a little bit, there are currently premieres of Sitting to the Max, Gabby Granny, Incendables, and Bunk'D. These are the 3 currently premiering shows. Now let's talk about Just Roll With It. Just Roll With It. This is the weakest show of the Disney Channel shows, but this was another cool interactive comedy show. The show reminds me of the Nickelodeon's Amanda show, and in a 2010s version of Sunny with a Chance. Sunny with a Chance, with an interesting and bizarre concept where in this show, a horn randomly appears. And when that horn appears, everyone in the scene immediately stops what he or she is doing, while the fans vote. On what happens to them in that scene, and no matter what happens, they have to just roll with it. This was an awesome show. According to their Wikipedia page, it's canceled. I've not heard anything from Disney Channel. Every other website still has this show running. But this wasn't the best show. Ever, but it was something to look forward to. Then your movies. Oh, I love your movies. Your first you have the Zombies movies, the most successful. You have the Zombies movies featuring Milo Mayhem and Meg Donnelly, who I consider the 2 leaders of this new generation, this current era of Disney Channel. And they're now about to have their final installment in the series Zombies 3, I think sometime next year. Then you have the more recent Upside Down Magic, a Harry Potter Sky High X-Men style of movie that I'm waiting for them to announce a sequel to. Then before that, you had other movies. You had a 2018 remake and musical of Freaky Friday, which I thought was awesome. Sucks Disney Channel hasn't replayed that movie. Then you have the Kim Possible 2019, which wasn't the best, but I thought that was still a pretty solid and good adaptation of Kim Possible 2019. Then you had you have a brand new high school musical series, which looks pretty cool. You had Secret Society of Second Born Royals featuring the main protagonist and actor from Andy Mack, which was solid. This really wasn't that good, but it was good to see Elizabeth Peyton Lee, I think that's her name, back on Disney Channel. Then you got your cartoons. In my opinion, Disney did this a decade late. They should have did this in 2011. In 2011, with Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, the Jonas Brothers, all of them left Disney Channel. Disney should have went back to what got into the dance, their cartoons. Instead, they tried an even crappier TV bopper era with the cast of Jessie, Zendaya Coleman, and Bella Thorpe of Shake It Up, China and McClain of Ant Farm, and so on and so on. And it was dreadful. Good Luck Charlie and the various cartoons were the only saving graces. Other shows like Austin Alley, Liv and Maddie, and Darwin the Blob were solid, but these were once again repetitive, stale, cheesy sitcoms, and it was this garbage, this stale garbage, in my opinion, that's killed Disney Channel. Despite all the good programming, their ratings and viewership is pathetic. Now, some of it, of course, is the various streaming options now, but most of it is just terrible programming in the last several years. So yeah, but I love their cartoons. First you got Amphibia, which is playing in the background right now. This is like a Xenon, animated Xenon warrior princess style show starring Sweet Life of Zack and Cody actor Brenda Song as the title character. Then you got what's the next show? Owl House, another similar show. This one is a Harry Potter, Doctor Strange, supernatural magic based show. Then the third show, which was actually been for Nickelodeon, has been airing since 2015, and that's The Miraculous Ladybug. But Disney acquired it. Disney acquired a CGI Ant-Man superhero style of show. Then you got the 2007. Then you got the Disney XD shows. You recently had DuckTales, which recently just ended, but it's still there on reruns. You have a new show, 101 Dalmatians, which from what I've seen, I've only seen bits and pieces of it. Looks real great. Then you have the 2017 Spider-Man series, which is now in season 3, Maximum Venom series, which is pretty good. You also have reruns of Ultimate Spider-Man, reruns of Gravity Falls, Phineas and Ferb, and the newest show, their most popular show, Big City Greens. This show is just okay, in my opinion, but it's their most popular. It's featured the most, which is another thing I like. I like how one thing that I loved about early 2010s, early 2000s, late 90s and early 2000s Disney Channel was the live action actors from the sitcoms, incorporating them into bumpers with the animated cartoon characters, and the ones they do this the most with is the Big City Greens characters. Another thing I like that they brought back, the various cool music videos. You have the greatest one, Milo's "We Own the Summer" from last year, one of the coolest songs ever. Then you had Chandler from I keep getting her first name, but she's one of the werewolves in Zombies 2. She did the cool Halloween party. Not as good as, which was great, but not as good as We Own the Summer. You had Isaac Brown Booker and one of the High School Musical stars do a Christmas. And Meg Donnelly do a Christmas songs. Meg Donnelly is the leader in all these songs. In 2018, I saw it for the first time. October of last year. In October of 2018, they had all their 2018 Disney Channel female stars do an awesome song called "Legendary" featuring Meg Donnelly, the main character from Freaky Friday, Kylie Russell, Eliza from Zombies, Sky Katz from Raven's Home, Davia Robinson, Dia from Raven's Home, Olivia Savadia from Cooper and Candy Astroworld, Ruby Rose Turner from Astroworld, Jenna Ortega from Stuck in the Middle, Madison Hugh, who I think that's her name, from Bizarre Bart, and Best Friends, whatever, and Olivia Rodrigo from Bizarre Bark and Now High School Musical, and Dana He, the main antagonist from Freaky Friday, and one of the characters in one of the main characters in High School Musical, the series, and Elizabeth Peyton Lee, of course, of Andy Mack fame. So, yeah, this was awesome. I wanted to do a remake with the 2020 Disney Channel stars. Then, oh yeah, speaking of these videos, the Upside Down Magic movie, which was awesome. Not only was the movie awesome, but afterwards they had the main characters perform their own edition of the Angels and Airwaves songs of Everything is Magic. Everything is Magic. Then Sadie Stanley did her own version of the Kim Possible theme. There were several awesome songs in the Zombies and Freaky Friday movies, and yeah, like I said, I love this new talented Disney Channel era, talented singers, dancers, actors, and actresses and performers, man. The best Disney Channel era since the early 2000 era, with Christy Carlson Romano, Lizzie McGuire, Shia LaBeouf, AJ Troth, Annalise Vanderpool, Raven Simone, and the rest of them. And I think it's surpassed the mid 2000s era with the That's So Raven cast, the Phil of the Future cast, what was the other cast? Oh yeah, the Miley Cyrus, Sweet Life, Selena Gomez, and Demi Lovato, Wizards of Waverly Place, and Sonny with the Chance Jonas Brothers cast. I think they surpassed those actors and actresses. So yeah. Now for like the bad, canceling several shows because of this stupid pandemic, canceling and putting several shows on hiatus because of this stupid pandemic. Dumb ideas like creating dumb movies like Cruella, rehashing good ideas. One, not having faith in the newer shows and constantly relying on old shows. You just constantly see reruns of shows that ended like years ago, overplaying Jesse over your new shows. Gabby Durant and Incendables. This is one of your currently premiering shows. This show finished its first season run in March of 2020, and disappeared for the most part, apart from occasional reruns, disappeared from the channel up until June of this year. So 1 month and 1 year and 3 month absence was Gabby Durant and Incendables. Singing to the Max had their last premiere in August of 2020, and didn't have their second premiere until March of this year. These actors, these actresses, from these movies, television shows, they should be always featured on the Disney Channel, kind of like how it was in the early in the early 2000s, in the quote-unquote early 2000s. And speaking of other stuff I like, they have yet to announce a sequel to Upside Down Magic. It took forever to finally announce the final installment of Zombies 3, which of course will be Zombies 3. This one will focus on aliens. I predict, myself and everyone else predicted vampires, but it'll be aliens this time. So, yeah, then you got the Disney Plus, which has even more shows, like the Mandarin, which I don't care about, Wanda and Vision, Bucky and Falcon, and the Loki television series, and you got a new Lucha Libre show coming up, and a new Marvel show coming in the future, and another Disney Channel movie, a remake of the classic Disney Channel original movie from I think the late 90s, early 2000s, Under Wraps, starring Christian J. Simon. He's one of the actors in there. So, yeah. So, yeah, this has been my review and rant on Disney Channel. They're currently the best alongside Discovery Kids. You want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.
You can't tell